When Raila supported ADANI bill, I was preparing myself to record something about ADANI bill. But with that development, I'll record soon, but with slight changes. Slight changes because he has supported it. Most of what I've recorded, I'll still have it. But I wanted to talk about it. I want to say that Raila has a legion of supporters. Supporters whom you can praise him or you can talk something that is deemed to be positive, 999. They will not see it. Actually, to them, that is natural. It is as natural as waking up in the morning and washing your face. The day, when you wash your face in the morning, you just feel you have done what you are supposed to. But if you don't wash your face, you feel guilty and whatever. So to them, praising Raila is like washing your face in the morning. It is a natural thing that you praise him and move on as if nothing did not happen. And if it reaches lunchtime and you have not praised him, they deem it as if you have done an abominable offense. You can praise it, you can talk of things, not even praising. You can talk of things normal, which are seen to be showing him in the good light 999 times. But the one occasion when you'll talk of something that may deem to be seen as if you are criticizing him or you are showing him in the negative point, then his supporters will turn back to you like a swarm of bees. But then that does not stop us from talking. I am on record. In fact, up to the time of recording this, I'm not aware of anybody else who has ever talked about how Raila's eye, one eye, not both eyes, one eye has a problem. Have you seen that whenever, I mean, there are times when Raila is just that way and suddenly his eye start waiting. There are occasions when he sees it coming and there are some occasions when he's not expecting it. Out of the blues, you'll find that the tears are coming out and he doesn't even have time to get out his handkerchief. He wipes it with his hand. Or when he senses it is coming, he'll get out a handkerchief. You have seen that. It is me who said how he got hurt, when he got hurt, and it's only I just talked everything. Except I did not mention the police officer or the intelligence officer who did that to him. As of the time of recording this, I am not aware of any person who has. I'm not aware of any person who has come out publicly to say how Raila's eye was done that. Some of you may not be aware of prisoners who are called detainees. Yes, the few of you who have studied law at various levels, be it certificate, be it diploma, or be it university, may know of somebody called a detainee. But for those who are not known for law, I'll tell you this. During those days, during the Kanu days, during the pre-Kibaki days, we used to have people in prison called detainees. Now, all those people who are in prison are prisoners. That is, they are prisoners or remandees. A remandee is an individual who has been remanded pending the outcome of his or her case. A prisoner is a person who has been taken to court and has been found guilty and has been sentenced and has not completed his or her sentence. You have been found guilty of blah blah, been sentenced to 2 years, the 2 years are not over. So any person who has been convicted of any offense and he or she has not completed the sentence, that one is called a prisoner. We have some people who are still continuing their case, and the case is not over, and either the person cannot raise the bail and bond, or the offense is so serious, or the person is in a position that if he or she is left, he or she will disappear. These are the people who are remanded in prison awaiting the outcome of the case. But we used to have a third team that was called detainee. And among the detainees, now this is especially to young people, we may talk of things that look German or French to you. We used to have political detainees in Kenya. These are people who have been taken to jail without passing through court. And that is why it used to be called detention without trial. It used to be called detention without trial because for you to go to remand, for you to go to jail, you have to go through trial. There are those occasions, as I've said, the court may feel that if you are released on bail or bond, you may not be able to come back, or you may commit the offense again and again. So for those reasons, you can be remanded. So those are called remandee. But we used to have, and you could be a remandee, you could be undergoing a normal trial, but just before the judge or magistrate decides your case, before the judge or magistrate decides your case, then the Minister for Home Affairs declares your name in the Kenya Gazette that you have been detained without trial. You remember the Kitengela 3, that their families issued a habeas corpus case. A habeas corpus case is a case where the family of a person who is suspected to be detained by the government do issue a habeas corpus wanting the government to release the person or even his body if he or she is dead. That is habeas corpus. So you can be detained and your family and friends enter a habeas corpus. That is when the police, like Masengeli when he was going to court, if it was those days, he would come up with a gazette notice which says, your person you are looking for has been detained without trial. So we had a lot of detainees. We had Raila Molo Odinga, he was a detainee. We had Matiba, he was a detainee. We had Anyona, he was a detainee. Hiyo list bwana ni mingi, nikiendelea I'll finish it yesterday. So Raila was a detainee at committee. And so was Matiba, so was Charles Wanyoike Rubia, and so on and so on. But Raila, and I've said, and I will always say, Raila, this is the character of Raila. Raila is moved by the crowd. Raila, like any other politician, but to him, zaidi, more than any other politician. He's moved by the crowd. He does things and he says things because he has seen the crowd, or he wants the people to do that. But immediately the police come for him. He realizes it. And he has not started it at Yamezek or anything. That was him way back, 1982. That is when he realized how serious it is. And in order for him, that is the point I wanted to say today, is first of all, Raila does something because of the crowd. And I've said, Which other politician doesn't do that? But then I've been answered by Animal Farm, George Orwell, that some animals are more, all animals are equal, but some other animals are more equal than others. All politicians are moved by crowds, but some politicians are moved more than. So whenever Raila does anything, he reaches somewhere and realizes it. He realizes the magnitude of what he has done. And that is why you find that during the swearing in, there was the Nigerian phone. So that is what he does. And in 1982, he felt that if he were to give evidence against Charles Njonjo in the Njonjo inquiry, then the government would release him from detention. So that is what I was saying. Raila, first of all, he does things, and then later on, he realizes and becomes a sellout. Much later on, Raila came and added another item on his feather. You do that, and it is known, the government knows, various government, including the next government, which will be headed by JI-TENGE, son of Lando. In JI-TENGE's government, you'll find that His Excellency, Commander-in-Chief JI-TENGE, will call him. Sasa wewe unanisumbua sijui nini, wewe mzee chota kitu. Or he'll call me younger brother, because I was born this. I'm 90 days older than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. 90 days older than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That is 3 months older than Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And 3 weeks older than Obama. And since Raila calls them both younger brother, then he will also call me younger brother. So he'll call me younger brother, sijui chota kitu. That is what he does today. So, this is what I said. I talked about committee, and I've really talked about committee, if I can remember, is that when he was at committee, he talked to the government. I don't know and what things were exchanged under the table, such that there are two things that happened to Raila that never happened to any other detainee. Let me talk about an ordinary detainee. Those days, prison, unless for those people who were taught things such as, there are those people who are taught things such as carpentry. But all prisoners, ilikuwa ni shamba. You wake up in the morning, you go and farm. You go and farm in the prison's farm. But Raila had a few acres, I can't tell, maybe 2, which were his, and of which his wife. Now that is where people now say, oh, you have an issue with Raila's Junini. But that is the truth. I am an NIS person, and I'll tell you as an NIS person, is that we in the NIS, we just ask, is it what you are saying the truth or not? If you are to look for somebody who has no issue with anybody, I'm telling you, because you'll never get anything. Because those people who don't have issues with those people, especially in the Kenya system, ati nipoteze wakati yangu niende nikae police station wiki mzima na ngoja na hakuna kitu itatendeka. But to me and to the NIS, we always believe that is what somebody talking the truth or not. And if it is true, how true is it? Because unaweza eka 5% true alafu ongeze 95% false, and vice versa. So that is why we have things calling. So his wife took mbolea, fertilizer. She took seed ambayo ni mbegu. Raila akalima mahindi. That is his shamba. There's even a time Raila was transferred from Kamiti to this place along Mombasa Road, Manyani. It is called Manyani because there used to be so many apes there. So Raila was taken to Manyani, and he complained that why are you taking away? Now my farm is about to, things were to come. Again, there are some things, let me tell you, and I'm telling you as an elder, and I'm telling you as a truthful person. If you get somebody who has all answers to a particular story, then you should know that that story is fiction. When you talk something, especially if you are not there, and then you find some things you can't add up on it. You can't add up because you are not there. People are saying, okay, why is it that whenever Raila used to be taken to Manyani, he would be scared for his life? I don't know. Maybe the officer in charge committee had a personal relationship with Raila. Maybe the person in committee had been bribed by the Odinka family. Maybe the person in Manyani had an issue with. So whenever he would be told he is being transferred to Manyani, he would have the fear of his life. Maybe he also feared Manyani because the family going to meet him in prison. You see, from where he's staying to committee is just next door, eh? But Manyani, you'll spend the whole day on the way. And I don't know whether those days they used to have a lodging where you could sleep there in the morning, you go and visit him. And yes, there was a room. This is not a classified page, so he used to have private sessions with his wife. Somebody asked me, okay, she's his wife, eh? Inakuhusu nini? Inanihusu hivi. Why was Rubia not given those privileges? Why was whatever? And even if they were given, I would be today teaching people that, unlike other prisoners, detainees used to, but I want to say that he is the only detainee who was given what we call private visits, conjugal rights. He was given a conjugal rights. That is what used to happen. And I want to say that, to me, the most important thing is telling the truth. But then again, when you look at it, and when you forget, you see, you look at it as Raila's supporter, as me being paid to do. But let me tell you, if the committee people would not have given Raila that privileges, because it is the committee people who gave Raila that privilege, that Raila whispered to Mama Ida and told her, look for a way on how this information is to reach the Matiba family, because Matiba received a stroke. He had a stroke and is only being given painkiller. So it is Mama Ida Raila who took the information out. If she would not have taken it, Matiba would have died in prison. So let us say that in as much as we may say ABCD and whatever, but in the end is that if the committee people would not have given him certain privileges, then if committee people would not have given him certain privileges, Matiba would have died in prison. When I said those things, people turned to me and said how I've been paid and how I'm even cheating and how I'm whatever. But then within a week of my uploading that video, Raila had an ODM meeting, an ODM rally in Voi. When he had that meeting in Voi, he came out and pointed at a retired prison warder called John. Full names I can't recall. He called and told people. Raila himself said, and he even pointed out that person and said he's called John and is the prisoner who did exactly what I've just said. And John was given a chance to talk. When he talked, an impromptu Harambe was done and he got over 100,000 shillings. I remember even Sifuna himself saying that they'll have to have one of the security personnel escort that person home, because with 100,000 on his pocket, young boys would turn against him. As much as Jinsi usually attack me, but then when broad base, we call it broad base. I hear somebody here telling me that it's not broad based; it is bread based. You're saying bread based, yeah. He's saying that it is bread based government. When the broad based government came, I'm told that the JI-TENGE went around saying that Kumbe JI-TENGE was saying the truth about Raila being a sellout. To me, I just said what I wanted to say because that was the truth. another thing I've seen about Raila is that he's misusing his ability to bring up people. He gives the people, those in power, the impression that ukiniona then you can rule out. It has become imekuwa biashara kwake. It has become business to him. I think the last time Raila was serious on becoming the president was 2007. But after 2007, of which I had even told Mr. Ojwang. Mr. Ojwang was my junior. Mr. Ojwang, we used to work with him in Mandera, and I was his senior. When Raila was the prime minister, Ojwang was seconded to his office as an intelligence officer to assist him in to be his intelligence. He was taken out of Nyati House to Raila's office to advise him on matters to do with intelligence. And I told Ojwang to advise Raila on that, since Raila, I mean, everybody, many people fought for everything. But when we talk about Kenya gaining independence, we say Jomo Kenyatta is the father of independence. When we talk of multipartyism, we say Jaramogi Oginga is the father of multipartyism. Jomo Kenyatta did not fight for independence alone. Jaramogi did not fight for multipartyism alone. But the honors that we have given them, we say that Jomo Kenyatta is the father for the independence of Kenya. And we say Jaramogi is the father of multipartyism in Kenya. And we were saying that Raila is the father of the 2010 Constitution. Those who have studied Constitution worldwide would tell you that the 2010 Constitution is the best Constitution in the world. It's only that it is so ambitious and we're having problems. Imagine we created so many positions. Governor has so many advisors, deputy governor. Every district now has ministers. Every county, which was also district, now has ministers, and we pay for them. That is why we are wondering why Kenya has a problem when we have created so many positions. Maybe if we were to create 14 provinces, that would have been a bit better. But these people, they are well paid. An MCA is not paid like a councillor. And then again, you'll find that we also had another layer of people who are called senators and so on. So you find that we can always say that Raila is the father of the best constitution in the world. But the problem with Raila is that akionwa kando. Now when I say kuonwa kando, I believe there is a lot of but you see, I will not talk of the Bahasha because I'm not sure. But whenever he sees the head of state, Raila changes. Do you remember, if you go to your YouTube and search kubweka bweka, the price of flour was 250. The price of flour was 250, and people were complaining that unga ni expensive. And then he was saying, ni nani hajui serikali inachukua ushuru, nani ana nini na mnabweka tu. And when Uhuru completed his term and Ruto came, and the price of flour was reduced from 250 to 180. I think it is now even less. He now remembered that the flour is very expensive. But when he had been seen aside, whether there was incentive more than verbal, I don't know, but there was incentive, whether it was verbal or even including an envelope. But he said kubweka. Now we have the case of ADANI. ADANI, if Raila would not be seeking the government's assistance in going there, you'd have had a lot of problems with ADANI. But now he's supporting I saw somewhere where they're saying that ADANI cleaner than snow, cleaner than cotton. But if he were not on the side of government, he would be organizing demonstration. This is to inform the people who go to demonstrations and they are hurt or they are whatever. Of course, you remember Jinsi told him he has done his part, like he just went there. I'm sure William Samuel Arap Ruto, where he is, he's really fasting. He's really fasting and praying for Raila to win the OAU seat. Because I know that he will win. And I've said it in very many times. I know that the only three things that can stop Raila from becoming the AUC chairman. One is the act of God, because even me, I don't know whether tomorrow I will wake up. God knows. I don't know why the name Moi came. God knows if tomorrow I'll be alive. God knows if tomorrow. And so even God knows if Raila will be alive tomorrow. That is the first thing that can stop Raila from being the AUC chairman. The other thing is his medical, if he becomes so sick, which is likely. And the third one, yes, he can reach somewhere and decide not to contest, isn't it? His supporters wamemsukuma, not because he doesn't stand a chance, but it is because they have become useless politically. It was very easy, especially from 2013 to 2017. There are very many political leaders who used to send money to him. Remember, there is a recording of Parsaris where she was being recorded secretly, I think by Sonko, where she was saying that she's making arrangements to send Baba some money. Now, if you can take all the ODM MPs who are there, plus governors, and he gets a lot of money and is very mean. So, as I said, Ruto must be praying God for Raila to succeed, because imagine my cousin, my mfiala, Rigiji, if my cousin doesn't make, that is impeached and Raila goes back. But you see, things, vindu vichenjanga was, because, yes, he may not succeed. He stands a very, very slim chance of not succeeding. But if he does not succeed, and comes back, I can also tell you vindu vichenjanga, because the type of support is waning, and I think this is the time when he'll find that his support, him calling maandamano, I don't think it will be as effective as it happened last year. It will not happen as it happened last year, because it will not happen as it happened last year because of the GNC. The GNC have now realized that this is a businessman who's making things out of the business. So I think, but that is something that we will not be proven with, because he's not going to fail. But you never know. But chances of him failing are 1 in 1,000. I would wish him well. I know that when he started, actually, I even talked to people. By then, I don't think I was active in YouTube. I told people, and people said, everybody knows you hate Raila, so it's not news. When maandamano was going on, people were suffering the way they were suffering. He sent a private message through people like Madam Tanzanian Samia Suluhu, saying that if East African presidents can support him to be the AUC chairman. You remember Madam Suluhu came and Ruto did not want to meet her. But then also there was a problem that if he would have stopped maandamano then you see, he was to wait for more than a year for the seat to be vacant. And you see, in politics, 1 week is too long. And 1 year is 52 weeks. So 51 more extra weeks would have made Ruto change. And that was his biggest worry then. Thank you.